Hi everyone, it's Anne. Welcome to my channel, Annie's Abstract Art, where I do just that. I've been away since the spring for family reasons. Everything is great now. Managing two Etsy shops, having a lot of fun with that, but I just had to get back to the studio. I did this piece. I had a lot of fun. Can't wait to show you how I did it. The video will start now. Enjoy. So the idea for this piece is chaos, very busy, neutral colors, brown, tan, black, and a little bit of kind of like a viridian green, slightly turquoise for the color pop. So what I'm doing here on an 8x8 stretch canvas is just getting the party started, loosening up my creative muscles, doing the background. Didn't want to go too heavy or thick, just wanted a little color there. And then with a water brush that I never fill up, but I like the nibs, just laying down some black over the brown just to start getting some pattern, some contrast between the black and the brown. Nothing fancy. I'm not trying to draw anything recognizable. Edging a little bit with the black. It's very diluted acrylic and water. And I also use alcohol inks that I made myself. So this is a little bit of collage paper that I made a while back. And I'm tearing off a square that's going to go in the center, just gluing things down. And that's going to be the home base for the focal point in the end. But it's kind of like, because it's collage, every area of the canvas has something of interest, something unique. So here, some more collage. This is newspaper print that I put under my projects, and everything falls onto it and I just reuse it. Here I'm using oil pastel sticks. So the blue ends up changing. Rubbing the canvas with the black crayon pastel stick is so satisfying because it's almost like you're a little kid finger painting. And here I'm using an ink gel pen just to get some lines and some scribbles. So I just want to lay down a lot of pattern, a lot of lines. So this is more collage paper with some black markings. And these are my puppets. That is so funny. So I'm using the dry brush to lay down some white paint, just scraping it, like I said, dry, dragging it across the canvas, letting it skip, and then dusting it and smearing it, which makes it a little bit too gray, which I love, but I wanted it to be whiter, so I went back into it. And so now you have the layer. You have kind of like that smoky background, misty background, and you have the white. And this is toilet paper rolls that I just dipped in white acrylic paint to make some rings. And then with a dry brush, I just dust it a little bit. And I have to tell you that the hardest part in this whole thing is restraint. So here I'm using a precision brush to add some acrylic ink that I buy, I don't make. And it's funny, if you're not aware, I also have another channel, Head Trip Creations, where I do mixed media portrait art. And I see an eye right there, what I just worked on. Here I'm just doing some random line with a loop. But right there, I see an eye. And I showed it to my husband, who's also an artist, and he doesn't see it. So, but I see it. So maybe because I do portraits. So here, what I'm doing is first laying down the color and then going back into it with a wet brush to get different strengths in the same spot. So it kind of grunges it up a little bit, makes it more interesting. Here I am first coloring that little collage piece, that white piece with the black dots, and then that bottle said DIY brown alcohol ink. So it has the red in it because it's umber, burnt umber. And this is tissue paper, and this is the toilet paper roll again with black, and then I finished it with the brush because I didn't want the line to be too thick. And this is more of the alcohol ink in dark brown. And I love the drips, and I love the richness of that brown. So now this is old book paper. I've had it probably for over 30 years that I used in a project. Whenever I destroy my projects, I always salvage the pieces. This is faux writing, so I painted this area black acrylic, and then this is a white gel pen. And so I'm just doing some asymmetric faux writing. Nothing too fancy lettering wise, just obscure. And here with the precision brush, just a few more markings for some energy. You want to put things, well, I do anyway, put things in a different direction, at least for this piece. Every piece is unique. So here I'm being very, very careful not to overdo anything because it's such a small piece, 8 by 8. This is a Sharpie marker, making some horizontal and vertical lines and kind of coloring them in, making thicker lines, getting a little bit of a grungy grid kind of mesh. And here it looks like little flags that I'm drawing right here by pressing the marker. And then here I'm edging a little bit. I do some black, some with the pastel crayon, and here I'm warming up the white. And this is painter's tape. So it's mesh, and it's great to just leave it as is. It's great to layer with it, which is what I did. And I love the way the whole thing is coming together. This is DIY washi tape. And then, of course, I have to rip everything in half. I want that element of surprise. And this is more DIY collage papers that was in my stash. So I'm just making some marks on the painter's tape, and this is another piece from my stash. So as is, I like it because I wanted more of a focal point to break up all those neutrals, but it just looked like just a square card. So I'm distressing with a razor blade. I made some like a paper mache while I was talking. So now I'm going over everything after I dried it off camera, going over everything with the brown alcohol ink or acrylic ink. This might be the acrylic ink that I buy from, I think it's FW. And so you can see that I'm being really careful. I'm doing 1/4 of an inch at a time because I don't want to regret. And I don't want to cover up all of the cream and the blue or the Viridian completely, because I'll be right back to square one where there's no focal point. So I want that color, that Viridian, that turquoise. So I'm using it straight out of the bottle here, but it's a little bit too bright for me, so I went over it with black and brown, and you can see the green just coming through, and it is done. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it half as much as I did creating it. If you have any questions about my process or materials, leave a comment below. I would love to hear from you. And if you're new to my channel and you haven't subscribed yet, I hope you will, because I plan on uploading regularly. Until the next video, take care. I'll see you soon.